Hello and welcome back to the Rest Stop. My name is Belakboy, the iconic host of this show, alongside two so-so hosts, Clover Bish and HugeAsMammoth, aka Nirupam. And today we are being joined by an extra special guest from the third season of Drag Race Italia. You know her, you love her. She is the winner, Lina Galore. Ciao, bellissima. The so-so winner of Drag Race Italia Season 3. I am good. Thank you for asking. Thank you very much for joining us here today. Come stai? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm a bit concerned about this background. I'm in my parents' kitchen, but let's say for this look, I didn't want anything fancy.
I think the background is personally lovely.
Yeah, with the ball that we had, it's perfect.
Yes, it's very spicy, actually.
The quality is exactly where it needs to be. And as Nirupam said, of course, today we are talking about the third episode of Global All-Stars, which was the international, what was it? The International Queen of Mystery Ball?
Yeah.
What a long and horrendous name, in my opinion. The International Queen of Mystery Ball. And to sort of kick things off, I wanted to ask all of you, what are your opinions on the ball overall as a challenge? Lina, would you start?
I think that ball, we have to reset our perception of the ball challenge through all the Drag Race franchises, because I think it could make audience very biased about the queens, because I think it's not just a fashion challenge or a sewing challenge, but it's a challenge where every queen gets the chance to showcase the way they can convey their financial resources. So the bias could be that the richest queen always wins the ball, but it's not always that way. Also because you have to have taste beside money in order to win the ball. But no specific.
Say their names.
But I think we have to take into account that every queen comes from a different perspective, a different background, a different, financial background. So we have to take that into account every time we sell a ball challenge. But we should take in the first place as the first, common point of evaluation, their taste level and their presentation of every single look. That's why this specific ball was very interesting to me.
Yeah, that's why the last category is so important, the one you have to sew and use your resources, because as you said, also, like in Global All-Stars, you can see the difference between the budget of each queen. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, and this kind of reminds me of ALYSSA when she said in the workroom, like, I'm going to sell the garment. That's what you got to do. But it's true that there are differences. But what did you guys think about Tessa throwing shade to ALYSSA? Like, but this is not selling the garment challenge or something like that. I don't know what she said. I was gagged. Like, how dare you? I know that on the last episode I said, like, ALYSSA is like everyone else, but not in this particular case. I would not do
that. It seems Tessa is very willing to throw shots at ALYSSA every single episode. She's not scared to sort of read the American Girl, which I love.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. I feel like in a setting like Global All-Stars, you should be allowed to read the American Girl like that. They should all be on the same level playing field.
Agreed. But in regards to the ball, though, I don't like the categories. Like, spy. Like, let's give it a break.
Oh yeah. So like the three looks were what? Boss Lady, She-Evil Villain, and then the International Queen of Mystery looks.
It's just I don't like the categories. I don't like the spy theme. I hate it. It's disgusting. I don't like there's so much you can do with the global thing. Like you can do like a cultural thing. I forgot somebody said something about like a world ball. So it's like three different things that each showcases something from their like country. And the first two is like a hometown look and a movie look, like something, specific to that country. And then the third is like out of materials, you have to showcase like your culture or whatever, where you're from. Something like that. Like that's most basic, but spy, I don't like it. I think they were trying to be cute. It didn't work for me. It just
I think every time they decide a theme for a ball, they base on the material they're going to give to the girls. And I think that seeing shiny metallic things, they kind of thought maybe it could be a spy themed or a robot kind of thing of a runway, but it didn't turn out that way. Also, I think spy is so general as a definition of a category that basically you could do anything you want in order to present it to the judges.
Well, because even in like all the looks that we saw, and we'll get into those later, but even with all the looks we saw, I think like maybe a good solid 5 or 6 of them, if you didn't already know the theme, you wouldn't think spy. There were so many looks that were not giving spy at all. And it was just kind of really disappointing almost. But like you said, Lina, it's kind of too broad of a category to sort of hone in on and focus on for a singular theme.
I mean, as soon as they were describing their looks for that specific category, I was like, okay, I'll buy it. Okay, you're a spy. Also, I want to say this thing, coming from a season of Drag Race without any ball, because in Drag Race Italia, we never had a ball, but we just had regular sewing challenges. I'm very pissed because in my season, I think the sewing challenge from my season was the strongest sewing challenge in Drag Race history because everybody was incredibly good in the sewing challenge. And I thought, fuck, if we had a ball with this specific kind of category as the third category, this would have been one of the best episodes of the franchise ever, but I'm pissed about that.
So, you know, before we get... Yeah, go ahead, Nira.
Question. The 40-minute episode, what the fuck?
Because why are episodes getting shorter and shorter?
We're going to talk about this later, because... Well, sorry. No, because there were runways who were cut.
It was. Miss Italia's
we'll get into it.
Was cut.
I can't wait to talk about it. Because I have some choice thoughts about that.
If your episode is 10 minutes longer than Pit Stop, like, you fucked up. And so when I mentioned that in my TikTok, somebody was like, oh, it's all the good seasons of Drag Race were only 40 minutes long. That was a million years ago. Dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. Like, ever since then, the show has evolved. Like, let's be serious here. Also, it's a global season.
Also, they tried to do the same thing for season 14, I guess, or 15. I don't remember.
15.
Yeah.
But the audience was pissed about it because they didn't get to, you know, enjoy the runways, enjoy the dynamics between the girls. But I don't know. I don't know if that is something depending on MTV or Paramount. I don't know.
So they made this season for MTV, but then they decided to put it on Paramount Plus, but they didn't like edit
in the
it
United States.
So I will say it: Paramount Plus and MTV has fucked up drag.
Yep.
It like pissed me off so bad yesterday.
Yeah. Because even that comment that people are making about how all like the good seasons of Drag Race were 40 minutes. Yes, those seasons did have good storytelling, but also if you think like season 5, who the hell was Penetration? You know what I mean? Exactly. It didn't allow time for all the first eliminated queens, all the early queens, compared to season 16, where I feel like we got to know Hershey LaCour-Jeté very well. We knew Mirage very well. Here, even though we've had like 2 nominal elimination episodes, I feel like I didn't get to know Athena as much as I did. Spoilers, by the way. We'll get to it. I just feel like it's really hindering a lot of the contestants. And I feel like that sort of goes into what we experience in the workroom, where a lot of these conversations and walkthroughs are cut short. And one of the things I wanted to touch on too was like this conversation between Soa and Athena, where first off, I was really bothered that they were both talking in English together. I feel like I would have loved to see a moment of them talking together in French and just like if they put the captions, but it feels like the producers wanted to say, no, talk to English for the cameras, which I didn't appreciate. I didn't feel like that was realistic, but they only had maybe 30 seconds of time to talk to each other. And I think one of the things we really enjoy about these seasons in modern day is like we like seeing the dynamics in the workroom and how these girls develop relationships, and we're not getting that. And I feel like the show's suffering because of it. And then another piece of the show that I feel like suffers is, of course, what we get on the runway, especially in an episode where we have to go through 36 looks. And I feel like now would be a good time for us to get started and look at the runway. Are you guys ready?
Nope. No. Too many looks.
Well, we have a very special, very topical queen up first. Athena LIKIS from Drag Race Belgique.
Wow.
Lina Galore, I will let you go first.
I think this is very chic, very fashion, and I don't even think it necessarily goes to an androgynous kind of image. To me, this is perfectly feminine, even if I don't expect it to be feminine, to be completely honest. The first look, I would wear it in Milan Fashion Week without the blink of an eye. The second look is very fashion, but it's a very fashiony costume. And the third one, I think she made very clear the fact that she's not a sewer by any means, but I think it's kind of a good garment. I mean, it's not drag. It's not, over the top or stuff like that, but I think it's good. To me, it's completely fine. It's passable. To me, this package is a safe/high placement for me. So I'm gonna Clover this package.
I forgot to say that in our show, The Rest Stop, what we do with looks we enjoy, we Clover them, and looks we do not enjoy, we over them. So
Which is the opposite of what Javi said to Clover on this.
Clover Bish, what is your thoughts on Athena's runway package this episode?
And for me, it's Clover. Sorry, like I love vinyl, so the second look is everything for me. Even though I didn't like the background, it had cuts on the back. I didn't like quite that, but like from a whole view, I love it. And as Lina said, it's very fashion forward. So I don't know. I was so confused, honestly, by the critiques.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's 2024, and we're still talking about feminizing the body. It's like, bro, RuPaul, I know you're 70 years old, but let's evolve. Can I say
just a little thing about that specific thing? I care about this much because I'm fresh of Twitter fights, which happen to be my favorite thing to do during summer. I think I've done the show. Clover did the show, so I think we know how much of every single conversation gets chopped off every time they go to the edit. And I'm sure that specific comment comes out of a very larger context.
Yeah.
Even if the using of the word feminize was very light, it was not a modern use of language in order to speak about drag. I repeat, if RuPaul said, this look is not quite drag to me, I would have been completely fine with the commentary, honestly. But I think this time that specific comment suffers. It's basically a consequence of all the cuts they needed to do in order to make the episode last 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Because if we had more context, I'm sure that was not the main thing about her package.
I completely agree with you, Lina, because it's just off-putting when there are so many critiques and comments that are cut off, and the one you choose to focus on and keep in the edit is the one about feminizing your body and your looks. There are things I think about Athena's third look that you could critique. I think the skirt could have done a little more work and whatnot, but the one that you choose to focus on within the edit of the show is it doesn't feminize your body. And it's just such an archaic thing to say to a queen, especially Athena LIKIS, who has marketed herself since Belgique 1 by being an androgynous queen, who prides herself on not padding. And you casted her specifically knowing that she says that about herself, and then still choose to comment on that.
Yeah.
It just was very off-putting and ruined the entire episode.
And let's just say it's not true. To me, it's completely feminine, even if she didn't have any intention to do that.
I blame Raven. I don't know how she's involved, but she is involved. Raven, she's involved here somehow. I don't know how. We gotta get to the bottom of this.
I'm saying this thing about the edit because honestly, we've grown seeing the show evolving around contestants.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the show, welcome trans folks and weirdos and stuff like that. So to me, it's kind of, this happens kind of all of a sudden. This commentary, very, very old school, a very old school commentary, a non-drag related commentary.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only explanation I gave to myself in order to explain that specific comment. But to me, that was not the case. She was completely fine to me.
Yeah. This is a Clover for me as well. Like there's nothing bottom worthy in this package, in my opinion.
Imagine me wearing that dress.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think RuPaul would have given you the same comment, Lina?
On this specific dress, maybe, but I would never.
No, he would have said, "You look so hot," and she would bite her lip, like
like GALA.
Yeah. Yes, I can totally see that.
We'll just wait till all winners too. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully, if they get me on.
And then our next queen is the winner of the challenge representing Canada's Drag Race, PYTHIA. Lina, let us have it.
I don't know what's best than Clover. Maybe Lina.
PYTHIA.
PYTHIA.
I would wear
I'll get you.
the fuck out of every single one of these looks.
Yeah.
I would wear every single one of these. And I was laughing yesterday because on Twitter, a lot of a lot of Twitter accounts were tagging me saying this is so Lina Galore coded, referring to the third look, because it is. I would wear anything of this. My favorite one is the first one, and that's relating to the thing that I was saying before. I can assume PYTHIA put her hands basically on every single one of these looks, and that is even more exciting to me. But I would love to wear the first one. I'm actually going to ask her if I can borrow it.
Yeah, for me it was a Clover too. I mean, the first one, it was such a showstopper, right? With the cameras, the wig was so spot on. Like, I don't know, I was gagged. It reminded me of Jimbo's look with the phones. Like, I don't know, I know that it's not the same, but these kind of looks that have such a big concept, but they are also so fashionable. It blew me away. I don't know. For me, she was the clear winner. And also the third look, you can tell she's a seamstress, right? Because this kind of fabric is very difficult to work on, and it's like the fit is perfect. So props, mama. Props to you, mama.
Yeah, for me too, it's PYTHIA. Full, like it was so good.
I'm gonna start glitching too.
But honestly, like the last look, there's no fault here. Nothing. Like there's not a single like miss. From her makeup to her look, I love it. And she kind of wanted to do something sexy because usually her drag is like different, and not like, you wouldn't say sexy even though she's very sexy. This is like very hot and I like it. It's really good. Like this is full on double Clover.
Yeah, for me this was a PYTHIA as well. Like I think we gotta rework that. So Nero, I think you like put it in a very good way. Like what I'm looking at here are three very different, not only looks, but I feel like three very different queens that we're seeing right here. And I feel like that's like shows a lot of versatility about PYTHIA's drag that I really enjoy. This is like a Clover in all capital letters here. And I truly think that her third look, with enough time, I think it might go down as one of the best designed looks in Drag Race in like the past 5 years. I genuinely think it's one of the best things. And It's just so well constructed and so perfect. Not a single seam out of place. I think this was very well done.
In vinyl.
So up next, we have our American representative, Alyssa Edwards. Lina Galore.
To me, it's an overall Clover,
Oh.
but I want to go specific on every single look.
Mhm.
I love the first one, even if because it's Alyssa Edwards' camp, point of view on camp, and it was spot on for her. The second one, I kind of didn't get it. I thought she was trying to, propose a sort of remake of the Black Swan she did in season 5. I don't know.
Yep.
But it was fine. It was very fine. And for the third one, for the ball, you have to be very smart, not only very tasteful. Because if you're smart enough to use your resources in your advantage, you're going to do good. She thought, okay, we are allowed to use our, undergarments, our corsets and stuff like that. And she was like, okay, I'm going to use one of my best corsets for this. And I'm just trying to embellish it with material that they gave us here. And she did a good job. I could not say this is not a look I wouldn't wear, actually. It doesn't give me spy by any means. But in her perspective of a spy, I was like, okay, you're a spy. But I think it's a good look. I think it's a good look. So overall, I'm going to Clover Alyssa Edwards.
Same for me, but what I'm going to say now is that here you can see the difference between the budgets. Between queens and their budgets. Because when I saw Alyssa's looks, except for the third one, I was like, money, You can tell she has the resources, she has the contacts. Like she's not playing on the same level as the other girls, but anyways, we are judging all of them like on the same level. One thing I want to say is that I love the first wig. The wig choice for me made the garment like spot on. So for me, Alyssa did a very great job, and it was kind of like a redemption from her other season she was on, because she's not known as a fashion queen. But here, she's saying Alyssa's fashion. The camera look and all of that. I like the camera look though. It's like my
unironically.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not a fashion queen.
We're just saying anything nowadays.
We need to ask PYTHIA if she likes it, I guess. But yeah, for me, it's a Clover. What about you, Niru?
I agree. I think it's very Clover. The last look, I always look at how it fits the category. So with that, I would definitely dock points, because that I don't see spy. But with her, because I know she can't sew, so for her to do that, I commend it. I think she does look great. The first look is good. The second, I just don't like the category. I think it's the problem with the category itself. But it's good. I like it. It's very different from Alyssa, and she has the money and everything. But I like that her style has evolved, maybe. So I think this is the Clover too. Right?
Her wallet too.
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to give Alyssa a Clover. I am going to give Alyssa a Clover. But I did rewatch the episode before we started filming today, and I realized that in the confessionals, Alyssa didn't even bother trying to explain why the third one is giving spy. Some other queens, if it didn't fit the category, they at least tried to make up a story in the confessionals. Alyssa just said, I look gorgeous and rich. And I kind of respect that. I respect that hustle almost. But yeah, we are seeing the money that not only Alyssa Edwards, but I feel like this is kind of like a microcosm of the success that American queens get over a lot of the international girls that we're kind of seeing come into fruition. And it especially reminds me of the conversation that Alyssa and Miranda had with Vanity in the workroom, where Miranda and Vanity were saying how in their countries, they don't have access to the resources, the financial resources that they do in America. So they have to kind of scrap things together themselves. And so I was just thinking about the optics of that when we see Alyssa in the top and then Miranda in the bottom, just kind of proving Miranda's point at that time.
We need South Asian queens on here, because then they will see what it means to be crafty. Because it literally, there's no resources, so everything is very grassroots. And
They need to get Rooney on.
honestly, but the thing is, like, wait, who on?
Rooney, what's her name from Queen of
Rani!
the Universe? Rooney. Oh, Rani.
But the thing is, Rani is rich now, so like
Oh.
hers like a little different. But if you get actual local queens, they look good, but it's very grassroots. Like
I love that
like,
you were saying that people are getting rich and we're sad for them.
Poor.
Queer people being successful could never.
Global. If they get Rani on Global, it will be the most watched season. She has a lot of fans. Like she's mainstream almost.
Doesn't she have like 2 million followers?
Yeah. She like nobody
Yeah.
puts her in the conversation with the most followers thing, but she actually has like a lot of followers. She was on Queen of the Universe, guys. Like I don't know, Clover.
No.
She's from India. She's very big. Even I'm not from India, but I knew her beforehand.
Okay.
She was on the Indian version of Big Brother.
Okay.
She went actually far. She was one of the first queer people I saw on TV.
Okay.
Shout out to her. Sorry.
Shout out. And then representing Drag Race Sverige, aka Sweden, we have Vanity Vane.
Overall, to me, is a Clover. I have the only problem that I have with Vanity's package is the fact that I struggled to catch the difference between the first two looks because they were very similar.
Agreed.
And I think they could basically switch between them and they could fit the category, the respective category in the same exact way. She did a good job with the dress she had to make in the workroom. So I think overall, this is a complete safe placement. So she deserved where she is, I think.
Oh, wow.
Did this sound mean? Did this sound mean?
You deserve your place. Yep.
Maybe she was good. I was not saying she's not good. She's good.
Clover, what did you think of Vanity's package?
For me, it's a Clover too, but also because I would wear some of these looks. I'm such a, I love vinyl and all that kind of fabric that shines like this, and it's very slutty. But yeah, it's true that all of the looks are black and very similar. I don't know if it's Vanity's aesthetic because I haven't watched her season.
Not you hating.
Why are you acting surprised? I told you last time.
You're not one of the 23 people that watched Drag Race Sweden season 1.
I am not one of them. Yeah, so I don't know if she's kind of like, spooky queen. I don't know, but yeah, she's not. So I don't know what's going on. She used the same fabric, but what makes me wonder that one thing that happened in my season is that when they gave us the categories, you could guess which were the ones that were going to be in the ball, because it was like colors and I don't know what else, like flavors or something like that. Here, I don't know if the queens already could guess that which categories were going to be in a ball or not, to make it like a whole package. And maybe she was like, I want to be like all black. I don't know.
It's impossible. It was International Queen of Mystery.
Yeah.
Because the first category is what? Boss lady, and then
Boss
she
lady,
villain.
yeah.
Who's going to like connect those?
No, the thing is,
it's very weird.
Everybody, when they think of boss lady, people always go to like vampy looks. And then She-Will villain, that's vampy. So I think that's why it's similar, because both categories, like, you can do basically the same thing.
Yes.
So she probably just created, you know what, I'll make it look the same. And it just happened that they got to do it.
I actually like the fact that there is, you can relate every single look to one another. So I don't mind it.
Yeah.
And she looks beautiful. She's her face is beat in the third look. She looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
She won her design challenge in her season.
She did. In an all black look too.
Yeah.
In all black then too. Yeah.
That was actually a really good look. She looked like a cactus. But I was expecting a lot from her. So for me, like, the last look is kind of, not the best, but she was safe, and I think very safe. I agree with that placement. I love Vanity. I was just expecting more because she won her season's design.
She deserves to be where she is.
Exactly. And she did it with unconventional material. So I really was expecting that she could like really elevate it. But it looks, I can see it as a spy, like going to a fashion, like a party, and is going to mix poison in the villain's drink. Like, I like this.
Yeah, again, you're a spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like just one of those situations where we have to just go by your word. You're going to tell us you're a spy? Okay, I believe it. Yeah. But I'm going to go against the grain here. I don't think Vanity deserved where she was. I think she should have been in the top. Oh, no, I thought she should have been in the top.
I can see that.
Because I think her third look, the one she made, I think that was one of the best constructed garments on the runway this week of all the looks that were made. I thought like this is a real dress you could buy out of like a high-end retailer. Like this looked very chic, very well put together. I think the first two looks did have some flaws that probably did bring her down to safe. Like they look similar. And then also the second look, I didn't enjoy kind of the bottom half that looked like it was missing a piece. But overall, I thought her looks were very creative and very Vanity. But even if they all kind of blend together a little bit, I think there's like a unifying factor to all of them that I would have put her in the top 4. That's just me though, but she is getting like without a doubt a Clover from me.
Yes.
And then our representative from Italia, we have NEHELLENIA. Lina Galore, tell us about your Italian sister.
I'm of course biased about NEHELLENIA. I'm just getting emotional.
Oh.
I love NEHELLENIA. I think she's a great representative for Italy. So it will be very, very difficult for me to be, fair in judging her. Obviously, this is a Clover for me. I loved the first look, even if I would have put something more on the bottom half of the first one. But the, Carmen Sandiego, but Italian vibe, it completely translated to me, so it was perfect. I'm really sad they didn't show off the reveal of the second look because it was phenomenal. But thinking about the fact that they wanted the episode to last 40 minutes, I've seen that specific reveal. Also, La Diamond did something similar on season 2 of Drag Race, and it takes quite a bit of time in order to, for the reveal, in order to be completely shown to the audience. So if I know that bitch this much, I know she's regretting of not pushing the button at the start of the runway and then doing all the runway while the jacket was inflating. But she did, at the first step of the runway, and then she did the rest of the runway when the jacket was completely inflated, but it was a great look. I always joke with her about the fact that I don't like plateau on thigh-high boots because I like, to be completely flat and very, very slutty. I think they're more exciting to wear that way. And the third look, I know she sews, but she has, basic skills, but this is not basic skilled at all. This is a good garment. For me, I would have changed the shoes. And I love the fact that she nodded with the glasses to the sewing challenge of her season. So I love this fucking bitch. So to me, it's a Clover.
For me, of course, it's a Clover too, because here we are Team NEHELLENIA. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And it's very sad that we didn't get to see the reveal from the second look. It makes me really sad because when you are at home preparing the looks, you're always, if you have a reveal, you try it so many times and you get so nervous before going on into the runway. That happened to me with the 3-in-1 look. I was like, I was shaking, I was like, this has to work. Yes, you have a hard time and you need to do it twice. So, it's very,
I forgot
yes,
they filmed the runway twice, yeah.
Imagine the 3-in-1 category twice. Everybody was sweating. It was dramatic. But the third one, I want to ask, is this a Shrek reference? like the fairy godmother, or am I crazy?
I think there is something like that in this. I think there is something
Because
like that.
I love it.
And you know what's the thing I love about NEHELLENIA? She's able to pull fantasy references even when they're not related in any kind of way to the category. And she is one of the most spy-esque look. She has one of the most spy-esque look of the night to me. So I love this bitch.
It's a Clover, yes.
Same. It's over for me. No, I'm just kidding. It's definitely Clover. I loved all three looks. I just think that, like, even if it's a time thing that they had to cut the reveal, it's still iffy to me, because what will that take? 30 seconds more? They couldn't add that in. I just think that their whole thing this episode was just not showing NEHELLENIA, because she had like 30 seconds of screen time, and that was mostly runways. So it's like, I just think they cut her without even thinking. Like, I find that really terrible. Like, why would you even do that? If it just makes your show better, it just makes your episode more memorable. If the reveal, if we saw the reveal, people would post about it and be like, "Oh my god, that was so cool." People will just talk about your show more.
I have a question. Like, about the edit. Do they show you less if you are safe, or do they show you less to justify that you're safe?
I think it's the second one.
The second one.
Because remember,
I don't think it's always.
I always think about Mohart and the what's the word? What is it called? What is it?
Money? Wallet? ALYSSA Edwards?
Cards?
Which one?
Cards,
which
yes.
One?
Okay. I'm sorry. That card looked like she was saved that episode, and we don't see her much in that episode, because if they showed her making the garment and we actually saw her more in detail and the look, and then people would be like, why is she saved? So I think it's more to justify the placement. It's definitely that, because people would have clearly been like, oh my god, NEHELLENIA should have been high. But if they don't show her much, nobody's going to think about it.
Yeah. But Nero, what were your rest of the thoughts on these looks?
Oh no, I like it. I think she looks amazing. I've said it, I think I said it last week too. NEHELLENIA is just somebody who is so fashionable, and she doesn't use, and I'm kind of commenting on her body, but she's not a skinny queen. She doesn't use that like as a way to be, I'm being camp. No, it's actually fashion. And I like that. I like that a lot, because a lot of time it's just like people look terrible and they're like, I'm being camp. And I just don't think that's a good excuse, because I'm fat. I can say it. So, and I look like a mess, so I can comment on everybody. So it's just I think she's just one of those queens that just understands, like fashion and how you can interpret that on the runway. I think she's fabulous, and I think she should have been high. And if it's a screen time issue, I would cut some other queens' runways to show the reveal.
Nero is saying that the UK queen should have been cut entirely.
You said it.
Not gonna say it. How do you think about this?
But I completely agree with all of you. These three looks are a Clover for me. I'm gonna rally for NEHELLENIA no matter what, though.
Yeah.
We said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again this week. We are not objective. I play favorites, and NEHELLENIA can do no wrong in my eyes. I especially loved the coat that she made, the cape that she made in her third look. I thought that was spectacular. It looked wonderful. And Lina, how you said earlier, like NEHELLENIA is so good at being able to tie in fantasy and animation and cartoons into her looks, but still make it conceptual and provoking in terms of fashion. And I think she's a talent for that. So that is a Clover, 100%. And then from Drag Race Philippines, we have Eva La Queen. Lina, start us off.
Clover, definitely a Clover. I love Eva La Queen. I would wear all of three these looks. I think every single one of them fitted the category in a very camp way, even if the looks are not camp at all. I think they're all good camp, yes. Very fashionable. I can see her as the owner of the, marriage company or stuff like that.
51% of it. Yep.
Yes, the villain thing is very villainy to me, and I think the third one, she wears one of the most biased looks of the night. It's tied with NEHELLENIA, and maybe she was very smart in this as well, because she did a kind of a very, actually was a very good constructed. I cannot remember. No, I remember the details of that dress. It was a very well constructed dress, but she added that specific thing that was the thing on her leg where she,
the garter,
she pulled off the so-called knife that was a comb or stuff like that. And she was very clever to add that element, because she completely translated the theme of the runway, and she was very good with this. So to me, it's a complete Clover. I'm finding myself very funny in trying to, trying bad things on NEHELLENIA in order to not look so biased. And so I'm good with that.
You didn't succeed on that.
So I'm saying only good thing about everybody else but NEHELLENIA. No, she's a complete Clover to me. It was a complete Clover to me this time.
I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like even though I expected a little bit more from Eva, I'm gonna say that. Yes, baby, because the first episode, I don't know if it was the first one, the one with the, the big jacket, that it was like, I don't know, I think she made it or something. That was so spectacular. I don't know, maybe. I don't remember. I can't remember now, but I was expecting a little bit more from Eva, but I'm not saying that these were bad looks. I love all of them, even though I don't like the shoes in the first one and the third one, because I feel like, yeah, it is true, because I feel like they make her look shorter. I don't know why, but it's my perspective. And one issue I have with the third look is the wigs, because sometimes I feel that you can have a look that is not very elevated when you design it there, but if you wear like a wig like ALYSSA did, it elevated more. And I don't know if this wig is doing her job with this garment. But anyways, it's a Clover for me.
Same with me, like it's a Clover. I was expecting a lot, but then again, Eva, in her original season, like the look that she made, she went from trash to trashion here. Like it's very that, because Rahul called her trash and she had a breakdown. Don't like Rahul. Anyways, no. I think this is good. I was expecting a lot from the second look, because her whole brand is Evil Queen. And here you have a category that is Evil Queen. I think this is very safe. I wish she would have done something more, because I know she's more Disney vibe, where like her entrance look in her original season was very Evil Queen Disney thing. And I guess she didn't want to do that, but I think she should have done something that's like right up her alley, right up her branding. This is more safer to me, but I still like it. I think she looks great. I love the first look. There's just something about the ruffles.
I think she would have achieved what you were saying, Nirupam, switching the first and the second look.
Ooh, I see
that would be perfect.
I definitely.
Wait, that's kind of a vision.
Yeah, this is why you won.
Almost.
Damn it! I should have.
Sorry, Brazil. Can't wait to hear what. Not that. No, not that. Yeah, Eva La Queen. This one, I'm gonna give a Clover with a question mark. I think this was one of the safest collections of the night. I really enjoyed the first look. I think her first look is the best one of the night, and I really enjoyed that vibe that she gave. And I feel like this is a look that is kind of like a staple in Filipina drag that we've seen, and I think it's done very well. The second look, I do agree though, with your brand being Evil Queen. I did kind of think that she might have given more. Do I have any ideas of what I would have done? No, because I don't do drag, so who am I to talk?
I do drag and I don't know neither. So, fuck it.
It's
I would have dressed like ALYSSA Edwards, actually.
The second
I had the money.
The second look is giving evil assistant than Evil Queen.
Like, okay.
It's like the henchman, the actual Evil Queen, who does all the dirty work. Like, if she had just made it more regal and bigger, I think it would have just hit the mark for me. But it's just kind of like, not in her level, because I know what she can do, and so
I see that vision, Nero. That is giving evil assistant. But overall, I'm still going to give it a Clover. Oh, and I would like to point out that we have officially been recording longer than the actual episode itself.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. So representing Drag Race Germany with Tessa Testicle. Lina, tell us your thoughts.
So I'm very torn about this because I think the third look was the worst of the night for me.
Dragger.
But for two different reasons. The first reason is that it was not well constructed and it was objectively not good. The second one is the fact that she tried to convince us that she's good with, constructing and sewing. I think here, if I can see, why are you laughing? I'm laughing too hard.
She tried to convince us she's good.
Dragger.
She tried to convince us that this was the product of her, big, sewing skills, and they did not. But I cannot.
She has a bachelor's
because I know she basically this could be the product of a not sufficient amount of time at your disposition. Maybe she gave herself a taller order than she could actually could have achieved in the amount of time she was given. Yeah. And I'm torn because I loved the first two looks. I love the first two looks. They kind of look similar between them, but they were good. They were very, very good. I would wear the fuck out of every single one of the first two looks. I think she did a very clever choice with hair in both of the two looks. And I don't know, because most of the package is good to me, I'm gonna give her a Clover, but it's a low Clover. It's a lower to me because the third look to me was the worst of the night. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Well, we don't need Lina anymore.
I'm gonna get ready to get expelled too.
We don't agree with Tessa deniers in this household.
I do. No, for me, it's a low Clover too.
Just
because
you in Snatch Game. Oh no, you actually didn't that.
No, wait. Listen to me. In Snatch Game, I was saved, but I was told that the hubbies actually loved my Snatch Game, but you didn't get to see anything because I was saved.
Oh.
Well, as I was saying,
check your lipstick before you come for her, Niru. Yes.
I love the first two looks. In the first one, I was like, why is she mad? But then I got the concept a little bit, but she was too mad. And then, but it was very fashion. I love the shoe choice in all of her looks. I want to say that because I always pay attention to the shoe. But then in the second look, I was like, the shoe. In the second look, I was like, why is she hiding her face with the hat? Like, what is she gonna give us? And she just was her. Like, I thought there was gonna be something else. So I was expecting something, and she was like,
though.
Is it a
reference though? I
don't know. But I didn't get any reference. So I was like, so what? And the third one, I think that she auto-sabotaged herself because, praise to her for the effort, but I feel like this is a very difficult fabric to use. And if you're not a sewer, why would you use it? Why would you do such a big dress? I think that this fabric is very heavy to do a garment like this. And if you don't sew, it's gonna be even worse. It had holes because it was breaking. The boobs looked like weird testicles. I don't know. This was weird, So I don't know what to say. And I was expecting a lot from her because she was like, saying in the WERKROOM, I'm gonna be the best, you're gonna gag. And then she appears with this, and I'm like, girl, I don't know. But I do love the wig.
It sounds like you want to give her an over.
Low Clover, which is a high over. It's hard because if you sometimes we say that in balls we pay more attention to the last look. So if you fuck up in the last look, you're in the bottom. But in this case, that didn't happen. So I don't know. I'm very confused.
Yeah, she was high, which is kind of random. No, because I thought she was going to be in the bottom just for the last one, but it's Tessa, so I can't question it because I do like Tessa. I think the first, I don't know if you guys watch House of the Dragon, but she's giving me Aemond Targaryen, who has the eye patch. It's like a cunty Aemond. But the second I love, the first I love too. The third, I think she's trying to reference her original design challenge run because she was high in that, and that was the only episode she was high in. So I think it was because that was also pink, and it was like a tight dress, and it was Amanda Lepore kind of vibe.
Love
so
pink.
I think love pink, and she was kind of. I think she was maybe like trying to do like, oh, it's the same family, but I don't think it worked out for her. It just it looks messy. I don't like it. I will also have her low Clover.
Interesting, everybody's thoughts when I kind of agree.
Kick us out. Kick us all out. Come on.
love pink. The first two looks I thought were spectacular, absolutely spectacular. They were kind of some of my favorites of the night. Yeah, her first look was just, I think, one of my top three favorite looks of the entire night. Just a spectacular runway. And I'm going to say something controversial. I did not mind the pink look. I thought it was perfectly fine.
Kick him out right now.
I'm the host.
Who can do that?
Recording.
Well, let's all leave.
I thought it was perfectly fine, but I do think her first two looks carried her to that top placement because they were some of the best of the night. It was just absolutely gorgeous and spectacular. And this look, like, I got the vision.
High? Do you think she was high? I think she was safe.
I might have been safe. Like one of those weird instances where it was like safe with critiques.
Yeah, but they gave her like that RuPaul little thing that she says, you were doing this and you did this, you're safe. Like she got that little.
You're a spy.
But you had a ball, 2 of them, or whatever she said.
Yeah, so that's kind of like indicative of a high place.
Well, it's kind of confusing too, because when RuPaul was announcing PYTHIA as the winner, it was like she said, PYTHIA and ALYSSA, you both did really well, but PYTHIA, you're the winner. Like she only said those 2 and didn't mention TESSA until after they all went back to the stage.
I
so
think
I'm not
that's
sure.
The mechanism this time, yes.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it. It seems like they're doing a top 2 this season for whenever they have critiques. But overall, I'm going to give her a Clover. I think like those first 2 looks are just
whatever you say.
So up next, representing Down Under, we have Queen Kong enter. Lina Galore, please, D me.
Okay. Okay.
She's gonna get comfortable.
First of all, I love Queen Kong. I've met her at every single DragCon I've been at, so I know she's lovely. But when I said before that you should be very clever in order to choose what you wear for every single category in this is where I get a bit confused about some of her choices. The first look is fine to me. She looks like a manager of, I don't know, a hair salon or stuff like this. Her face is great. Her wig is phenomenal. So this look is a complete, pass for me. Yeah. The second one, I don't get it. I don't know if I'm the problem or the category is,
the problem.
The problem, yes, maybe it is, because that's the problem I've had with most of the looks I didn't like tonight. But I don't get what she's referencing to. It looks to me like she's reusing a look she already had. That's the vibe I got from this. She looked incredible in blonde hair. So the first 2 look, maybe if she presented herself just with the head and then completely covered up with the But no, that's not the case. They're not ugly looks. It's just I don't get them. I don't know why. And the third look, she's been very very, very ingenious, and she knew how to play this, because she did the safest thing possible. She did a mermaid skirt, and then she said, as long as they see a mermaid skirt, they're going to assume I did a garment. I did not just a dress, I did a garment. And then she did this draping thing, which appears to be difficult, but it actually is not. Overall, she's in the middle for me. So it's a low Clover for me as well, again. Even if I love her face in the first two looks.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to over Queen, because we need to over someone. Someone needs to be
The first
over.
over of the night.
We gotta do something, because if not, it's everybody's Clover, and everybody can't be Clover. So I don't know. I feel like the first look, I like it because it's animal print, and we love animal print. The second one, I didn't get it neither, and I don't know if is it no, it's not. It is not a nude illusion, right?
No.
Because I don't know, but I hate this color. I don't know. I hate it. But I love the blonde wig and the necklace and the shoe and pink, even though pink is not here, but we love pink. And then the third one, this is what I said. If you use a nice and I don't know, a structured wig, something very cool on your head, it looks better. Imagine this look with Eva's wig. It would be even worse. You know what I mean? You need to bring a cool wig for this kind of moments where you struggle designing things. But I do love the color. And I think, as you said, Lina, she was very smart. And this look, as I said, I think it could have been worse, but she saved it very well. But what's going on with the belts? Like, why is she wearing belts in the first and the third look? I don't think she needed them. I don't know. It takes me a little bit off.
If I have to say just a quick thing, these looks didn't feel, maybe this is the problem I have with this look. They didn't feel, they went straight to the costumey area and not in the fashion area. And maybe I'm biased about this, but in a ball challenge, I expect more of a kind of a fashiony route for everything to follow, every queen to follow, but I don't know.
I also wasn't a fan, and I'm a big Queen Kong stan, emphasis on big. But I like her makeup. She looks gorgeous. I think the second look, it's definitely something that she probably already had, but if she had tweaked it a little bit, because this is supposed to be like a Shivo thing, maybe like she's like a pissed off mother art. And how like she's the villain now, because we are pillaging this earth, and it's like a whole message of that, and she could have done something a little bit extra there. Would have worked. I think that would have been very conceptual. But here it's just like, I don't know what she's supposed to be, but I don't think it's working for me. The last look, like, it's so much better than the one that she made in her season.
Yep.
That was something, and this is like such an elevation. Honestly, this is like couture compared to that. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think her being safe, like, she got away with maybe some criticism, but I definitely didn't love this. Like, I love Queen though, she's fabulous. So I think this is also more so like a low Clover. I don't want to say over, because this is Queen Kong and I'm biased. So this is very low Clover for me.
Don't worry, Clover. I am joining you in the over camp. I'm going to have to give this an over.
God.
It's not just you. I really enjoy her first look a lot, but I have the same issues that I think all of you have with the second look. Second look, I don't get how it relates. I think she was trying to going for like the Poison Ivy, like the DC Batman villain, but I don't think it was successful. Yeah. It wasn't translated well. And then the third look, I think she was trying to go for something that like Vanity was going for, but when we have Vanity, who had a very successful sort of ball gown spy look, I think this one fell kind of short. And I feel like I'm sounding like I am a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, where I'm like, yeah, compared to the others, this just doesn't stack up.
If Ross Matthews can judge,
why she's a spy here? I don't remember.
She has a magnifying glass. Duh.
Oh, okay.
Ross Matthews can judge, so can you.
Oh,
Love Ross.
Love Ross.
Love Pink.
Love Pink, I guess.
And you got a Wowie award.
No, I didn't win.
No,
but you were about to. You were about to.
Okay. I'm gonna say it was rigged because
it was rigged.
Everybody told me they voted for me, and it was like, okay, nobody was talking about Carrie Colby. No, although I love Carrie, so I was wrong. Anyways,
I agree.
Thank you. I was wrong.
I think I voted for you. I think.
You think?
Oh my God.
Up next from Drag Race Mexico, GALA VARO. Lina, please tell us.
Very, very good. Very, very good. Every time I see GALA VARO, I see something of Farida Kant from Drag Race Italia season 1. So I get excited when I see her on the runway. I mean that as a compliment. In case Farida is listening. And I loved her first look. I loved the second look. I would wear the shit out of the second look. And again, if you switch the both look, they would, each of them would work with the category they're trying to fit in. And the third look is a 4-piece thing, which is very ambitious, and it could turn out to be something very pedestrian because you're doing a little skirt, a little shirt, a little cape, and stuff like that. But she managed to do it she managed to do that so flawlessly that this doesn't look like something you've created in 8 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like something you have bought it somewhere in a boutique or stuff like that. So to me, this is a complete Clover.
For me, it's a Clover too. I'm in love with the first look. I don't know. I was not expecting this kind of looks from Gala. I think she has had such a big glow up from her season. Even though I'm not sure about the skirt on the first look, it kind of takes me off. I don't know. Yeah. Can you stop gasping on the first look?
Sorry.
I said anything is like, oh my God, I'm going to start doing the same now. But yeah, I don't know. The skirt feels off to me. I don't know if it's because of the material that I don't know if it's the same as the other, like from the waist up or the color, but something is not there for me. But the other looks, the second one, I love, and it was so tied to her body because sometimes when queens wear bodysuits, sometimes they have issues with having the fabric on their bodies like tight. So this one was exquisite. And the third one, if I'm being honest, I'm not quite sure about it. I don't know if it's a shade.
Sorry, it's a force of habit now. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna block you later from Twitter too. Okay. So no, why aren't you gasping now? Come on. But yeah, there's something about the third look that I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it's the color choice, the fabric choice, or the shape, but there's something a little bit weird. But I love GALA VARO. I'm team GALA VARO as well.
No, I agree with you guys. I agree a little bit of both because I did like the thing, but also the last look, I think it gives me more spy than a lot of the other girls. So it's definitely a plus for me. The first look, I think she was going for like, does anybody know what she was like going for? Did she explain it?
So she was like she was apparently going to be like this doctor or scientist that works for the spy organization that prevents ugliness. And then in the second look, she was a villain that's trying to make everybody ugly.
That's cute.
So there's kind of a storyline there.
Because when I saw the skirt, I thought it was more so like it's windy and I felt like things floating away as well. Just the structure of it. So I thought at first, I was like, oh, it's maybe somebody who's like out in the wind doing, still working.
I think it's like when there's an explosion in the laboratory.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe
I'm really
like the
good
hair.
with this, guys. I'm really good with this.
Lina,
So
this
maybe the
you're
hair
a
could have
visionary.
also maybe given something, a more messier hair, perhaps, because I don't know.
Maybe some splashes or
Yeah.
something. Yes.
So that would have really sold it, because I didn't see that. But I still like it. I love the second look. I think she looks gorgeous there. So overall, it's like a very strong, it's a strong week for Gala for me.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a Clover.
Yeah, for me, this was a very solid Clover overall. I just really appreciated in the story, like the storyline that she had with the looks, that she tried to convey in the confessionals about the doctor, the scientist trying to prevent ugliness, and then the second character trying to make everybody ugly. I thought that was just like a kind of a nice detail that kind of like put all these looks together. The third look, I agree, is like one of the more spy looking ones from the entire episode. Very easy Clover. I think this was a very good week for Galavaro. But it's a good week for Galavaro every week for me, personally.
Mm-hmm.
And up next, from Lina Galore's favorite country, Drag Race Brazil, Miranda Lebrão. Lina,
I love
please.
Brazil, by the way. They keep inviting me there every time, and I'm very scared to say yes. But I love this package. I can see the fact that the judges could have found an hard time seeing the villain thing in the second look. But if I try to put myself in, Miranda's head, that makes complete sense to me. That makes sense very flawlessly to me. The first one is a clear nod to Carmen Sandiego, and it's very well executed, and their makeup is gorgeous. I love when queens look this good even when they're not wearing any wigs. I love that kind of aesthetic. So she was very good for me in that specific area. And for the second look, I see a villain. I see a Powerpuff Girls villain or stuff like that. Or I don't know, even maybe a Digimon villain or stuff like that, or maybe a Claymore villain. Sort of transformated, or some kind of a weird scientific explosion of things. I don't know. I get it. To me, that translates as a villain thing to me. For the third one, I can see when the judges told her that all of the amount of fabric kind of swallowed her a little bit, but the silhouette to me was completely fine. You don't have to have an hourglass no matter what in order to look, sensual or elegant or stuff like that. To me, this is a fine peplum dress with, I love the color combination. I love the purple with the red hair. I kind of like this. I was very confused when I saw this in the bottom. I don't know if I would have given her a top spot, but definitely not a bottom to me.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, this is a solid Clover. And I'm not even saying a low Clover, because it's not. This is a solid Clover.
No, actually, I'm obsessed with the first look. I think I was not expecting this from Miranda, but I was obsessed. The moment she stepped on the runway, I was like, "Come on, girl, okay." And then she came out with the second look, and I was like, "What?" I don't know. I was a little bit girl. Why are you gasping?
Yeah, it took a bit in order to let it swallow.
It took me a while, and it still take me. I don't know. For me, it's a little bit strange. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't get the reference. Maybe it could be. But the third one, I like it. It's true that this part swallows her a little bit. She still needs to learn how to edit. But overall, it's a Clover for me.
So the first look, Miranda is one of my favorite of the night. I think I love the reference, Carmen Sandiego. Like, it's so, like, the hat, the look, it's gorgeous. The second, I love the creativity. I think I agree with Lina on how, like, I can read this as, like, a villainous thing, over the top kind of. It's great. The last look, too. I think her being low, mama, that's garbage. Like, I'm sorry, that's I don't agree with it. When they announced her name, I thought she was gonna be high. I fully thought she was like, oh, she's high, but I guess not. She's great. And can I come to Brazil now, Brazilian fans?
I don't know.
But it's a
we all
Clover for me.
want to come to Brazil. We really do.
Yeah.
Well, you all can come to Italy if you want.
So yeah, Miranda, I think this first look, I'm gonna say it, best look of the night. I think this was the best look from the entire night. In my opinion, this was my favorite look out of all 3 categories, out of all 12 queens. This I thought was just absolutely chic and spectacular. And I think should have been the singular thing to pull her out of that low placement. The second look, I really liked the second look. It kind of reminded me of that art style that Sasha Velour used in her book, The Big Reveal. And I think that kind of like aesthetic really kind of brought a camp element to this villain. And then the third look, the colors, the hair kind of unifies that theme of like Daphne from Scooby-Doo. I just really thought this entire package was very well done. I might have even given her a high placement as well. This is a very strong Clover for me personally. So I'm invited to Brazil now, I think. And then up next from Drag Race France, Soa de Muse. Lina, start us off.
Okay, so the first look, good. To me, it was very, very good. I would wear, it's very French. It gives me Thierry Mugler. It gives me Jean-Paul Gaultier. I would wear the shit out of this as well. I loved it. The second one, I liked it actually, and I didn't mind the fact that it was too anime, as the judges said to her. It didn't translate to me as a villain necessarily. It almost gave me some kind of heroine or stuff like that. So it was not. It was some kind of positive character, not a villainous character. That was the main issue for me. But the look was good. To me, was completely good. For the third one, I honestly loved the effort she made in doing this little thing. in order to make it the most spy thing she could, and then going with this Kylie Minogue 80s kind of vibe with this. But she was like, I'm a spy because I have this. I loved it. I actually, as Nirupam said before, the category is very confusing to me. So I think I find a hard time in order to, place these girls in some kind of spots in order to say who did a good job and who didn't. I don't necessarily think she did a bad job. But if I have to put all of them one next to the other, maybe this is a bit of, I think it's less drag than other looks presented to the runway tonight. But I cannot say I hated this package, so I'm going to give it a low Clover as well. I don't know if I'm going to no, I'm going to over someone tonight.
Okay.
But this is, yes. Yeah.
I was like, are you
This is a low
sure?
Clover to me.
I love Soa. She's one of my favorite ones. But since we have to over someone too, I'm gonna over Soa. Yes, you can gasp now. You can do it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Okay. I don't know. I love the first look, even though I don't know if maybe it's a reference that I'm not getting. I think like the wig is like way too back. I don't know if it's.
I think it's
I don't know.
Blade Runner kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I don't know about that. I only watch reality TV, so yeah, probably I'm not getting it. The second one, I don't know. Maybe it's the fabric choice, the wig choice, but there's something that is not there for me. And the third one, let me just say, icon because of the glasses and because she said, "I don't give a fuck about sewing." Oh my god, I just love her. That's what I call a queen. She said, okay, there are some queens who can't maybe dance and she can dance. So why do I need to learn how to sew? Fuck it. I love her. I would Clover that only because of that sentence. I don't give a fuck about sewing. I need to get a tattoo here.
I love the first look. I don't love the second look. I think she looks good though. The third, I mean, at least she tried. You know what I'm saying? So it's overall like it's over, unfortunately, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, Soa, I really enjoyed her first look a lot, and the second look was giving me very Shivago from Kim Possible, like that green and black color. You know, that's kind of like the vision I thought she was going for. And just that third look, I swear to God, even if this might not be one of the better constructed looks on the runway, the fucking goggle makes it kind of skyrockets to the top because it like is more spy than at least like half the looks this entire week.
Yeah.
It's like she is so IDGAF in a way. Like she is so irreverent in a way that she just like is not bothered, and that's why I love Soa Demuse so much, because if she knows she's gonna suck at something, she doesn't care, because she's like, I'm gonna eat this no matter what.
Yeah,
exactly. And that is how you win Drag Race. Like Soa is my winner of Global All Stars 100% through and through. Never mind about it. Still gonna give her an over, but that's my winner. That is my winner no matter what. Oh wait. I was gasping at myself here. Kitty Scott-Claus from Drag Race UK. Lina, I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you guys know on internet, I got a lot of shit by, you know, toxic fandom when I won my season. So the last intention I have by doing this is, you know, perpetuating online toxic fandom to go against Kitty, because I've already seen that everybody's going against her for being safe in this episode instead of being in the bottom. I get why people are saying she should have been in the bottom, but I want to focus on one specific thing. That's the thing I said in the first place when we started this episode, and it is the fact that for a ball, you have to be very smart in order to convey your resources on the choices that you make for every single category. I'm not saying she did wrong choices, but I think she didn't put the same effort in all of them. And that's why the complete package looks weak this specific time. I mean, the second look, I could not tell is a bad look. I could not tell is something I wouldn't wear, because I probably would wear, especially for the, you know, the very squared kind of hips. I really like that silhouette. The thing is that maybe that specific thing didn't fit the category, because that was the villain look, and maybe she should have add something more in order to make it more villainy. And once again, it looks like a look she already got before going to Drag Race. For the first one is the one that basically bothered me the most. It doesn't bother me. It's the one that maybe she should have put more effort into it. If you want to just wear a suit that's a regular suit, a female regular suit, and that's completely fine, because drag should not be defined by anything. PYTHIA wore a suit for her first look, but it was taken at the highest level of drag you've ever seen in your life. If you want to play with the thing of the masks and the nose and the glasses and stuff like that in order to convey some sort of spyish thing, even if that was not the category, do it big. Do it the nose and the glasses this big, or do something that makes this way more dramatic. I think this is the thing that lacked in Kitty's package. I wouldn't say she looked bad. I wouldn't ever say that a queen looked bad on Drag Race, because that's not my brand. But that is not the case. She doesn't look bad. She just doesn't look as accurate as her fellow contestants for these specific categories. The third look is basically she was smart with this again, because she made the easiest thing she could make, which is a tubular dress, and that's completely fine. And then she draped fabric around it. Other queens did it during this runway. ALYSSA did it, Queen Kong did it. She just happened to have done poo choices for the first two looks. That's why, you know, the audience is dragging her this much, I think. To me, it's over. I'm saying this also because I think Kitty is one of the funniest UK queens we've had on the show.
Yes.
And I expected her to add that level of campiness to this, and she didn't. That's the only thing that brings me to say it's an over.
Yeah, I can totally see what you say. For me, as you said, if you want to be camp, make it bigger. And I was thinking the exact same thing about the glasses. Also, the suit. I love a sparkly suit, but this one it was way too simple for me. If you're camp, make it like I don't know Willow Pill who made like a giant suit, something like that. The second look, I didn't get. It wasn't giving villain as I was expecting. I don't know, but I didn't hate it, and she still had a gag, like the fire and all of that, the fireworks. But the third one, I don't know. It looks like she could have brought it from home, like specifically Kitty. It looks like one of her looks, like regular looks. You know what I mean? So it's an over for me. Yes. I still want to perform again in the UK. Please don't cancel me. But it's an over, and I have to say it.
It's Clover. It's so good. I love it. All three looks. I mean, she looks fabulous. Love it.
She wants her Wowie. She wants her Wowie award.
Nirupam mixed congeniality of the stop.
I mean, it's kind of extra disappointing because Kitty is a UK queen, and UK's like spy fiction is so popular, right? This is the place where what's his face comes from, James Bond comes from, and so like this is like I was expecting a lot, and it's just like it's not great in a sense that like it doesn't. Like the first one, I get it. You're trying to be funny, but again, it's giving Miriam Margolyes, who, if you guys don't know, she's very iconic. But like I didn't love it. So it's a over for me, like full over, like game over for me. I didn't love it. But this, again, it's not her forte. She got away with murder this week, I think. Like her being safe was just it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Not where she deserves to be.
She's not where she deserves to be, according to Lina Galore. I am going to give Kitty her flowers. I think her hair and makeup look absolutely stunning. I think in the second look, Niru, don't look at me like that.
I love pink.
I think like I'm looking at this screenshot here of her second look.
The second one, yes.
She looks gorgeous with that makeup.
Definitely.
She does look good.
Yes, I think she's like a really beautiful, gorgeous face, a gorgeous mug, and her hair is always laid, which I will always give her flowers for. But the overall package, I am going to have to give it an over. I unironically love the first look. I know that's a hot take, but I think the glasses were the perfect size. I thought that was great, but I kind of wish she pulled out the glasses for the third look, because if the first category is boss lady, I don't know why she's trying to go for the spy stuff. I wish she just pulled out the glasses for the third look.
I think she was trying to link all the looks together.
Yeah.
She definitely tried her hardest.
Yeah, it's inserting, it's inserting humor when I don't think it really requires. I forgot who it was. It was in some, I think they said this in Pit Stop. I think Violet said it. Like, not everything has to be funny all the time.
About Utica.
Utica's ball.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think if she just comes in and the first look, if she just came in as all like, oh, I'm the boss, baby, I'm not goofy at all, I would have liked it more.
If it was me and this was my choice for, the boss category, I would have come out as a drag king, I think. I think it would have been
Ooh.
brilliant.
Maybe
That
she
would've
just
been-
brought the glasses because she saw the other looks and she said, "What else can I do?" Maybe she didn't. She just brought the suit. That could happen
Mhm.
as well. That's one of the things that happened to me. That when I looked around me in the workroom, I was like, "I need something else," you know. So maybe she just said, "Please give me some glasses and a nose," and she did that. So it could have been worse. Let's praise her for that.
Yes.
Imagine me at the finale of Drag Race Italia. I was completely naked. I was like, I need something.
That's when you got the gold glitter for your chest and whatnot. Unfortunately, Kitty is getting a over from me, but I do kind of want to address, and Lina, you were kind of getting into this earlier when you were talking about Kitty's package. We have a lot of opinions here, and every Drag Race fan has an opinion. The rest stop is not a place, is not a sanctuary for you as fans, or maybe not so much as fans, to send hate to towards any queens. We do not encourage that. We do not support that. We want to foster like more of a community of support for a lot of these queer artists that are coming onto this show, while throwing a little bit of light shade.
Hate is only okay if I do it.
Yes, because you can get your wowie, and we cannot.
But Kitty Scott-Claus,
I
icon
got
and
that
legend.
thread, and I didn't get any nomination for Wowie. That's kind of unfair.
Well, what did you
Actually,
say?
I got death threats after my after my winning, and I didn't receive any Wowie nomination.
I wasn't even nominated for neither too. I mean, I was like, "Where's fan favorite? Where's
Yeah, you have
I don't know."
I think they only give Wowie to like people with good social media.
Girl, they did like I don't know, best. How do you say your profile when it looks nice? How do you say that? Your feed, best
Aesthetic.
feed, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
they nominated Yurigi, and I was like, yes.
I got
I
the
know.
best educational content. Mine
Yes,
was
yeah,
educational content.
that didn't make sense neither for me.
No,
That
no,
didn't make
it
sense.
didn't.
I didn't know I was educating people. I love that for me.
Yeah, sure.
And so, as we get to the end of the episode, I wanted to ask you all, what are your favorite looks of the night and your least favorite looks of the night? One, you have to pick one.
Okay, I'm torn between two, and those are Miranda Lebrão boss look and PYTHIA boss look. But to me, PYTHIA did the most Lina Galore-ish thing I could ever imagine, so I would steal that look without thinking about it twice. The worst look of the night. Oh my god. Worst look of the night. I'm torn. I cannot choose one, so I'm gonna give it to two looks, and they are the boss look by Kitty Scott-Claus and the spy look by TESSA. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. For me, the best look it was PYTHIA's boss look. It got me. It was a showstopper. And the worst look, I'll have to say Kitty's because of the effort thing. Because at least, I don't know, there were other looks which I didn't like, but I feel like there was more thought behind them. So yeah, I would say Kitty. Sorry, UK.
Yeah.
I still want to perform there again.
So my favorite look of the night was Miranda Lebrão, Carmen Sandiego, the whole thing I loved. That was my favorite. My least favorite is Kitty's first look. It was giving Miriam Margolyes, and I love Miriam Margolyes, but I don't know if that worked with the category. So
Yeah, my favorite look of the night was Miranda's boss look, Carmen Sandiego. That was my favorite look of the night. My least favorite look of the night, dare I say, was Queen Kong's She Villain.
Okay.
That was my least favorite of the night,
I can see that. I can see that.
Unfortunately, love her down though. Love Pink, but that was my least favorite of the night.
Nito is pissed.
Near's punching the air right now.
just wanted to say it was really sad to see Athena go. It was really sad to see her eliminated. I don't think she should have been eliminated. She had so much to show. I love Athena. She should not have been eliminated. That's all.
Completely agree. I saw her in the top in this specific challenge, if I have to be completely honest. So it was very a bummer to see her go, actually.
It was an injustice, I think, more than anything. It was disrespectful and kind of like the first casualty of this RuPaul favoritism that I think we're seeing, but we don't have to get into that.
I actually cannot hear you, but I'm okay with that. No, I'm joking.
That was actually kind of the read of the night. That was kind of crazy.
I want to be on All Winners too, bitch.
But as we approach the end of the episode, I do want to say thank you all for watching this video. We really appreciate the support that we've had in the first video, and we will appreciate the support continuing with the rest stop. Lina Galore, I want to thank you so much for joining us here today. And would you please tell us where we can find you, whether on social media, what are your plans coming up, etc., etc.?
You can find me in jail very soon, but you can find me on Instagram at lina.galore. You can find me on Twitter, but it's very easier to find me on Twitter since everybody's sending me hate over there. So go send me hate, please. I'm going to respect that, as Nirupam was suggesting me before. And that's it. I'm going to travel a lot since since September is approaching. I'm going to go to Vienna, to Pandora Nox. I'm going to go to America again, but I cannot say when because I have nothing scheduled up.
All winners too! Oh!
No, not that. Hopefully. We'll see. No, but before I go, I want to say one thing. I'm trying to be as quick as I can. I tweeted yesterday something about femininity in drag that I said that female impersonation should not be the first goal for every single drag artist, and I got dragged for it a lot online. And I want just to say this: drag is the language of freedom. If you don't allow people to be free throughout the mainstream platform for language of freedom, you're doing something wrong. That's the only thing that I would say about this.
Clover Bish, where can we find you and what do you have coming up?
I'm finishing my holidays. I've been a month out because I needed it for my mental and physical health. But I'll be back on stages and in different countries very soon from September on. But I still can't say anything. But keep tuned. On Clover Bish with 3 H's, just like here.
And Nirupam, how about you?
You can find me on TikTok and Twitter as HugeAsMammoth. And if you're not following me there, you're only getting 3/4 of a story. And then on Instagram, I am Mammoth Kidman because I'm Nicole Kidman's drag son. So I'm a Nicole Kidman impersonator.
And then, of course, I am Belakboy on YouTube, Belakboy on TikTok. It's Belakboy on Twitter, and then Belak_Matt_ on Instagram. Once again, I just want to thank you all for watching. Lina Galore, thank you very much for joining. We really appreciate you being our very first guest. And, of course, to the rest of the audience, we will see you next time. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.